Who's going to be at the game tomorrow? Who's coming?
We got the fam. The fam's coming in. Mom, dad,
fiance,
family.
brother.
Yeah.
Jason coming?
Jason won't be in town. He's got the 4 girls celebrating Christmas out in Philly. So
I'm trying to think, like, okay, because maybe you don't want to tell us.
Jason and them came to last week's. They wanted to come to a noon game.
Okay, because I remember my last game.
Yeah, so they can get the little ones in and out.
High school coaches coming tomorrow? Anything like that?
No, they came last week too.
The second Travis Kelce entered the room, it was clear this conversation was going to feel different. Not because cameras were rolling or because of where it was happening, but because of what the moment symbolized. Sitting across from NFL great Tony Gonzalez, there was an immediate shift in energy. What stood out right away was the balance. A steady self-assurance paired with a noticeable layer of emotion just beneath the surface. And when the discussion turned to who would be watching from the stands during his final home game of the season, Kelce's demeanor noticeably changed. His tone softened. His guard dropped. He listed a few familiar names, but one mention carried extra weight. The person who mattered most, his fiancé, Taylor Swift.
Who's coming?
We got the fam. The fam's coming in. Mom, dad,
fiance,
family.
brother.
Yeah.
Jason coming?
Jason won't be in town. He's got the 4 girls celebrating Christmas out in Philly. So
I'm trying to think, like, okay, because maybe you don't.
Kelce spoke candidly about how important her presence is to him, not because of her fame, but because of who she is in his life. He described her as the person who has remained by his side through one of the toughest periods of his career. He talked about the reassurance that comes from knowing she would be in the crowd, watching, encouraging, and carrying that emotional moment with him, especially knowing that the night could represent the closing of an important chapter.
But we're watching football. Did you ever think this was going to?
I never thought that you and I would talk about sports in my life ever. I thought, it hadn't happened by the time I was 32.
I just kind of waited.
Get another touchdown. Get another touchdown.
Okay.
Damn it.
It wasn't flashy.
There was nothing showy about it. No big gestures. No over-the-top emotion. Just sincerity. And that straightforward honesty shaped the rest of the conversation. As things moved forward, Tony Gonzalez brought up the topic that had been hanging in the air all season. When it came to the year itself, it hadn't unfolded the way Travis Kelce had envisioned. There was no postseason run, no perfect ending to cap it off. And for someone as competitive as him, that kind of ending is difficult to accept. He didn't deflect or make excuses. Instead, he took ownership. Kelce admitted that he felt he had fallen short, especially in the eyes of head coach Andy Reid.
Are in a position that you haven't been in a long time. You're not going to the playoffs.
Man.
I mean, how do you put that in perspective? How are you dealing with that?
We got a lot of unbelievable people and people with great integrity in the building. So it makes it a little bit easier to finish out this year, knowing that the people that we do have in the building, but. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. I feel like I can't even look my guy, Coach Andy Reid, in his eyes right now, just because I feel like I disappoint or I just let him down in some way somehow throughout the year. And
for someone who sees himself as a leader, a seasoned veteran, and a player built on reliability, that sense of disappointment sat heavy with him. There was no passing blame, no justifications, only ownership. Kelce explained that after spending so many years in the league, you stop looking for outside reasons. Instead, you turn the focus inward and ask what more you could have given. That way of thinking, he shared, has always pushed him forward, even when the truth is uncomfortable. As the conversation continued, it became clear how seriously he takes leadership. He spoke about the weight of being a role model for younger teammates, about setting standards in the locker room, and about understanding that leadership goes beyond stats and on-field success. It's about showing up, being present, and carrying responsibility every day.
Why do you feel that way?
I just feel like, it's my job to go out there and make it happen. And that's kind of the pride that I've always played with, especially playing for him, knowing how hard he works and how prepared he always is. And I don't know, I feel like you got to look yourself in the mirror and put, the biggest expectations on yourself to be able to get it done. And I know that's not always realistic, but at the same time, it's helped me become the player that I am today.
He acknowledged that even in moments of personal success, he measures himself by how far the team goes. And this season, in his eyes, fell short. That honesty, that self-awareness, is what made the conversation so powerful. Eventually, Tony Gonzalez asked what everyone wanted to know. Is this the end? Is this his final season? Travis Kelce paused. He didn't give a definitive answer.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Where's it at over there? Christmas Day, last game at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Will that be the last time you walk down that tunnel in front of the home crowd?
You know, that's a good question, man. I think I'm still searching for those answers. I think, you know, obviously the way this one ended with a sour taste in my mouth, I feel motivated, but I got to make the right decision for me. And I got to hope that, you know, if I do want to come back, you know, the Chiefs are willing to bring me back. So it's a two-way street on that. But at the same time, man, at this point in this year, I'm just trying to finish out and give Chiefs Kingdom everything I got, and go out there and do it with some that flair that you said I play with, man.
Yeah. Well, who's helping you make that decision?
Well, obviously, I got one guy in my back pocket that called it quits when he was 36 years old. Mm-hmm. And being my brother.
Yeah,
being my brother. And then I got another guy in my pocket that called it quits when he was 37 years old. Being you. And
he admitted he's still processing everything, still weighing what comes next, still listening to his body, his heart, and his love for the game. He spoke about how football has been his life for so long that imagining life after it feels unreal. And yet, he also acknowledged that there comes a time when you have to ask yourself, what's next? Not out of fear, but out of honesty. As the conversation came full circle, Kelce returned to the people who have carried him through it all. His family, his loved ones, and the woman who now stands beside him, Taylor Swift. He spoke warmly about her support, her presence, and how much it means to have someone who understands the emotional toll of his career while still encouraging him to be himself. It wasn't about fame. It wasn't about headlines. It was about having someone there when the noise fades. As the interview wrapped, one thing became clear. This wasn't just a conversation about football. It was about legacy, about growth, about knowing when to fight forward and when to pause and reflect. Whether this chapter marks an ending or a new beginning, Travis Kelce's story is far from over.
Patrick Mahomes, he's out towards ACL. First of all, I mean, reflect back on your career. I mean, we're here at 1587.
How about it?
He's one of your best friends.
How about it? That's my guy.
Playing with him all these years, what do you take from that? What has that relationship been like?
You know, it's he's family now, man. You know, I think through all the hard work and you know all the family time that we've had outside the facility and outside the building, man, there'll definitely never be a goodbye to him. It'll just be like another day in life with Patty Mahomes. But I think what he's been in my career up to this point is obviously you can't measure it.